Hey guys, I'm Kelsey Smith with Smith's Ridge Micro Dairy in Northwest Arkansas. Spring is in the air, although you can't exactly feel it right now because it's still pretty chilly at night for us, but you can just sense the change in the season and the changes in the wildlife, and on the brink of just getting these longer days. The sun is coming up a little bit earlier and setting a little bit later, and it is just so nice. I have to be totally honest that I just was feeling pretty down in the winter. I get a little bit of, I wouldn't go as far as to call it like seasonal depression, but I certainly get to feeling just pretty down when the days are short and the weather is crummy and there's not a lot of excitement. But when spring starts to come on, there's just so much activity and you can really sense it, or at least I can. And so I am just so thankful and so excited for the new seasons. I just wanted to share with you kind of some of the things that we have going on our small farm with the change in seasons and how we're getting ready for spring. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel for future videos on our small farm. You will not get videos that are super curated. You will get videos where little people are around and things are not super tidy. There might be laundry on the couch because that is life. And I feel like there are so many farm accounts that are just beautiful and inspirational, but maybe unrealistic. And farming can be dirty and life as a mom is nonstop. And I just want to be more real. And authentic, and I don't want other people to feel like they have to have a perfectly curated home or farm, and that's how things really are. Like when people are shooting a video and they get no background noise, they're like, you know, a parent, and they get no background noise. Granted, I know sometimes everybody is, the older kids might be preoccupied and the little ones might be napping, so that's fair. But when there's never an interruption, I'm like, how is this possible? So whether it's animals or children, I feel like my videos always have some type of interruption, but that's just life. That's just how it is. So anyways, a few things we have going on the farm. One is that we are working on clearing some pasture. We have a little over 11 acres. I've done a farm tour video, but honestly, it just feels irrelevant now because so much has changed. So much has changed since that little tour, and we've added a lot of different, I want to say enterprises because that's the technical word, but we're still pretty small, so I don't feel enterprise feels really big, so I'm not sure that it's quite the right word, but we've added a lot to our farm, and I am, my husband is clearing this pasture alongside our oldest son, and it's a usable pasture. It's fenced right now, but there are a lot of trees, so the ground doesn't get a lot of sun, so it really can't grow anything. This pen will be utilized for dry cows, and maybe for the donkey, but the mini donkey can be a little sassy, a little ornery, and I don't want him getting after my soon-to-be new mamas, so I may have to move him. We'll see how he does. He's notorious for being protective, but also just having kind of an attitude, so we'll see what he thinks of being in with the soon-to-be mamas. My worry would be when they near calving. I just don't feel good about him being around the young calves. I've had him in before with a new mom, and he didn't do great with the calf. We had to chase him off. We were getting ready to move the mom and baby back up to the barn anyways because she had just calved. But yeah, he just makes me a little nervous. He's not super mean or anything like that. He's actually just a doll to people, but he's one that you have to watch. So anyways, we've got that going on. Another thing is that eggs are officially in the incubator. We're so excited to be hatching again. I'm going to keep the first 18. And then after that, we'll probably sell some. I think there is just a lot going on with shortages from bird flu and things like that. So we're gonna try to provide some people with some hens, some laying hens, or really chicks. I'll sell them as pullets. I don't want to deal with growing them out and then selling them. You really don't make much by the time you feed them for 16 weeks, you know, and they're at the points of laying. So anyways, I'm glad to be growing our flock. I've got 2 groups of hens. One is a Buff Orpington rooster with my Buff Orpington and Barred Rock hens. And then I have my eclectic group where I've got a beautiful Easter egger rooster. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably seen Bruce. He's just really a pretty guy and very kind. Both of my roosters are kind roosters, which I don't know, like you'll have to let me know in the comments if you have hatched eggs. Do your hens and roosters' attitudes reflect the attitude of the rooster? Because I swear when the rooster is like super rude, the whole flock is just not very kind. But these kind roosters end up having kind offspring. You'll have to let me know if you've hatched what your experience is. Anyways, my other group has Bruce, the Easter egger, and then his ladies are just a group of, I've got some Black Star, a Leghorn, or a Leghorn, I think is what most people say, AM Samani, some other Easter egger, just like red hens, some highlines. So really just a hodgepodge group, backyard birds is what we'll call them. But they're in the incubator, just put them in yesterday. So 3 weeks from now, we'll have some babies. Another thing I'm doing right now is just scheduling some spring maintenance for the cows, things like getting their hooves trimmed, getting some cow hay delivered for the girls that'll be drying off because I don't want them eating the alfalfa like the girls that are in milk. They just don't need it and it's really not good for them. So let's see, preparing for them to be dried off, which also means communicating with my raw milk customers that will have some milk fluctuation as well. So those are kind of tasks that are also in the works. And then one of my favorite things to do is planning the garden, setting some goals. I have to be totally honest, at the end of the year, I just was not, at the end of 2024, I was not feeling super inspired, and I tried to set some goals and I did set a few because I was just like, I feel like I need to do it, but I just wasn't inspired. And I think it had to do with like feeling kind of gray and down with the winter weather. With the changes in weather also comes changes in clothing requirements. So I don't know about y'all. If you are a mama, you will have to let me know in the comments what your methods are, because I swear my kids are just always growing and always in the next size. When I know when they're babies, you know, you kind of have to go up a size pretty frequently, but my bigger boys are just sprouting up, and I do save clothes and kind of pass them down. But this is also the time of year when I assess what we have currently and what we're going to be needing, what we need to get rid of, who's grown out of what. Do we need new rain jackets for the spring? Do we need more new muck boots that fit and things like that? So just kind of assessing what our needs are for spring clothing and kind of transitioning those, which I always like the transition of winter clothes to the warmer weather clothes because it's just lighter, there's less to coordinate, and the hallway isn't filled up with all the things. It's not filled up with the gloves and the hats and the coats and the coveralls, and so that's pretty nice. Another reason I think that I really struggled with setting goals was because we were actually under contract for a new home in a few towns over, and we thought we were going to be moving, but we listed our place, our beautiful home, and that we love so much, and we were just getting limited traction. And now we're feeling like, you know what? It may be that we're going to stay here. And I have to be honest, I was a little sad about that for a while. It's not funny. You're just laughing at your little face. I'm so tired. That sleepy eye's getting lazy. I have struggled with contentment, and when I should be feeling really blessed that our children are healthy, our home is sound and beautiful, and we are just so blessed. We've got acreage, we've got more than what many people have. And I have to be honest, I have really struggled with that because the new place had or has 20 acres with the option to buy another 20 in their usable pasture acreage. What we run into here is that we have a lot of wooded acres, and with cows that take a lot of room and resource, you really need that space. Not only that, but my dream, my hope, my inspiration is to rotationally graze and to help rejuvenate and regenerate the soil. I want so badly to experiment with healing the soil with cover cropping and bombing it with hay and just allowing organic matter to build and microorganisms to do their thing. And I just have this vision that I want so badly, and I just can't achieve it here. Now, we do everything we can to help the soil and to learn and utilize what we have and be good stewards of what we have, but I feel like there's so much potential at the other place with the land. Now, the home we'll have to add on to, it's only got 2 bedrooms, and it's a smaller square footage than what we're used to, but it's not in my opinion, but the reality is you can build a home, but you can't build land. Yeah, we can clear it, but honestly, I don't even like the clearing aspect because I think that the woods have they play their own role. They are habitat for animals too. So I kind of hate to destroy those and see them go away, but we really do have to try to manage the land and manage our livestock within the land that we have. So who knows? Maybe it'll all work out. We're getting new photos done of our place, and maybe it'll all work out and we'll still end up moving. But I'm trying to just not cling to that hope and trying to just make plans where we're at and try to be content, which I have just not done a great job of doing or being, but I'm going to do my best. And I am starting to get excited for, just spring and for the potential and hope that spring brings. I still will certainly, we'll do our best to just manage what we have and do a great job of it. And when the time comes and it's time for us to move on to more land and steward that, then we'll do our best there as well. So anyways, that is just kind of what we have going on right now as we prepare for spring. I am so looking forward to the warmer days and just really thankful and excited. I know, yes, it's still February, but it's coming and I can feel it. I can sense it in the air, and I hope you can too. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and happy farming.